Welcome back to my Smackdown review. Now, I really don't have a lot of time to do a video today, so this is and I clearly cannot talk. This is just going to be like a really quick kind of, summary of like what happened on Smackdown and like the bits that I like, because yeah, I don't have time to do like a proper long review today. So Smackdown, good start. I like the opening match, Cody Rhodes versus Booker T. It was obviously Cody Rhodes won, which was the right decision for him to keep the Intercontinental title, and obviously hopefully now that was like the kind of blow off match for the feud, and hopefully Booker will just go back to doing commentary now. It looks like Cody Rhodes might be moving on to kind of like a feud with Goldust, going by their like kind of backstage altercation after the match. So we'll see what happens with that. But no, that was a good match. Cody won with the beautiful disaster kick. Hornswoggle and Heath Slater honestly couldn't care less about it. It was a match where they had to like eliminate each other by chucking their opponent over the top rope, and it was just ridiculous. So just yeah, don't watch that. It was pretty bad. Ted DiBiase versus Unico. Unico won with like it was like a submission pin like combo. It looked like he was going to do a submission move, and then actually ended up pinning DiBiase, which is quite nice. So yeah, hopefully he gets kind of pushed more. In 2012, Wade Barrett is obviously becoming more awesome each week. He comes out and does like the medical update on Orton. He practically says Orton's career is over, that he'll he'll never be the same again, and that Orton will have to sit and watch Wade Barrett win the Royal Rumble, because the Rumble is in Orton's hometown. This makes me think, will Orton actually come back in time? Or maybe that would have been why Orton would have won the Rumble if he'd have been in it, because it was in his hometown. But obviously no one really knows how long Orton's actually going to be out for at the moment, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so he says that no one can beat him now that Orton's out. Sheamus interrupts and says, I can beat you. Then Jinder Mahal comes out and it's like, oh, I don't care, just go away. Seriously, if Sheamus and Barrett feud is fine, I can handle that. But Jinder Mahal has no business being there. He is not anywhere near main event level and just needs to stay away. So yeah, it just got weird after that. Barrett and Jinder were attacking Sheamus, and it was like, okay, and then Jinder Mahal did like the camel clutch to kind of finish off that segment, and I was like, oh, why are you giving him the advantage? But they've got to face each other again next week, so that probably won't be a very interesting match, because Jinder just ruins everything that he's in. Santino Marella faced Drew McIntyre. Teddy said that if Santino won, he'd become his new assistant, new assistant to the general manager. But if Drew won, then he'd have his job secured on SmackDown. But Drew actually lost, which was quite surprising, because Santino's just a complete comedy character. But, so Santino's the new assistant to the GM, and, yeah, Teddy said that if Drew lost next week's his final chance, like, strike 3, so if he loses next week, then that's it, he's probably going to get fired. Tag team match, Primo and Epico beat Air Boom, so I'm assuming that'll mean they'll have another tag title shot, possibly at the Royal Rumble, which should be quite good, because they can put good matches. Natalia faced Tamina. Tamina's actually a pretty decent wrestler, to be honest. They haven't really used her enough on SmackDown, and obviously it's kind of like a new, heel, kind of things. Obviously Natalia and Tamina are both heels. I like that they referenced both their dads were former wrestlers and stuff, and that was quite good. But obviously we'll see what happens. Obviously, so I thought maybe Beth Phoenix will come out and kind of help Natalia, and then face maybe Tamina as a new opponent for Beth for the women's title. But we'll see where they go from there. And then the final match was obviously the World Heavyweight Championship match between Daniel Bryan and Big Show. And obviously, like I said before, I wasn't really that bothered about this match, because I'm not a massive fan of either Big Show or Daniel Bryan. But this match was made 10 times greater by Mark Henry being on commentary. Seriously, when people like special guests on commentary, some of them are just so awful. Mark Henry is a genius on commentary, and I actually wouldn't care, if he was out there all the time. Just the fact that he, told Michael Cole to shut up, and that if he said another word, he was going to slap the taste out of his mouth, and Cole's like, yes sir, and just stays quiet for ages. That was just the greatest thing I've ever heard on commentary. So Mark Henry did a good job on commentary in this match. Yeah, the ending was annoying, but I can see why they're doing it, because obviously, Daniel Bryan's turning into, a right, arrogant, kind of, I don't know what the correct word to describe it is, because obviously, I don't use rude words. So, what some people call him, I'm not going to say, but, he's just coming really big-headed and, all this kind of stuff, and, kind of annoying. So I can see a heel turn for Daniel Bryan actually happening. Obviously, at the moment, he's kind of, in the in-between stage. He's obviously not proper heel, but, getting there. So maybe once he's actually a heel, it'll be better, but I don't really know. But seriously, he just needs to shave off that beard. Still, it just looks horrifying. But so obviously at the end of the match, Big Show goes for the choke slam, but Daniel Bryan locks on the sleeper hold. Obviously, Big Show looked like he was actually going to pass out. It was so much drool falling out of his mouth, which was disgusting. I was like, why do they always do that? Anything to do with salivary stuff is so gross. But anyway, but then Big Show managed to get out of it, and he went for the knockout punch, but Daniel Bryan escaped out of the ring, and then he kind of provoked Mark Henry to knock so Mark Henry like knocked Bryan down, and then Daniel Bryan was like, oh, I've been like knocked over, and called for like the DQ, and then the ref actually did disqualify Bryan. So it didn't make Big Show look weak because he didn't actually lose. But then obviously, yeah, Daniel Bryan, you know, still was the champion, and also obviously brought Mark Henry into the angle. So it was kind of the way they did it, but just kind of really annoying as well. I was like, oh, but obviously that's just me, like, you know, the crowd is starting to boo Daniel Bryan now, just because of the way he's acting and for, you know, getting himself deliberately disqualified against the Big Show. So yeah, overall it was a pretty good-ish, you know, match. It wasn't like, you know, the best title match I've seen, but obviously it didn't do anything to kind of hurt any of like the people in it, and obviously it's possible that if Henry's like, you know, recovered from his injury, they might do like a triple threat match or something at Royal Rumble. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, no, sorry that I had to do such a, you know, short review today, but yeah, I've kind of got a lot of stuff to do this afternoon. But yeah, no, so thanks for watching this video. You know, leave a comment and thoughts and stuff, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!